let's say hello to Robby Krieger.
Yay. Wow. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Rob.
All right.
How you doing?
Good. Last time I saw you was in early 70s at the Santa Monica Civic when you guys played there.
Wow.
Do you remember that show?
I kind of do, because it was one of our first. I think it might have been the first place we played after the Roxy. It was our first, pretty big show for us.
Yeah.
That was also where the Tammy show was filmed, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Any autographs on the wall in the green room from the Tammy show?
Yeah. Wow. Anyway,
that's all I remember. It's a great show, and you guys blew me away.
Thank you. I'm looking at your bio here, and I must say, one thing caught my eye. Did you go to a Ravi Shankar school? I don't know. I mean, was he directly involved?
Not as much as I would have liked. There was a guy named Hari Hao Rao who was his second in command, and he was kind of the teacher. But Robbie did come once in a while, and that was pretty cool.
Were you actually learning sitar or learning the Indian scales on the guitar?
No, it was sitar. It was everybody had a sitar, and they also taught tabla drums. So John Densmore was there too with the drums.
Because you were playing those Indian type scales right on the first album, really, in the end, and right.
Yeah, that's right. I loved Ravi Shankar. I used to go to sleep every night listening to one of his ragas.
Yeah.
I took a class at UCLA, Indian music, also, which was very cool. You wouldn't believe all the beautiful instruments they have there. At least they used to. Probably still. Yeah. It's just a whole room full of stuff, unbelievable.
So you got a new album, first of all. Well, we can talk about that.
Yeah, I got a new album out. It's the first one in a long time. It's called The Ritual Begins at Sundown. Here's the cover.
Very cool cover.
The cover, it's one of my paintings, actually.
I really like your art.
Wow.
Yeah.
You've had no formal training, or did you have formal training?
No, just my mom she was real into art. She took classes and stuff, and so I grew up, kind of watching her do it.
And you've always been like sketching your whole life and playing with colors and things like that.
Loved to draw when I was a kid, and I really just started painting for about maybe 25, 30 years ago.
Who's on it, first of all?
There are a lot of guys from Frank Zappa's old bands. Arthur Barrow, who is my longtime buddy, bass player, and Tommy Mars, keyboard guy, Chad Wackerman, the drummer, a couple of horn players from Zappa's groups, Sal Marquez, Jock Ellis, and we had a lot of different, a lot of cool jazz guys on the record.
So what I was going to say, what can you describe the style of the record, or is it a mixed?
It's sort of jazz rock, I guess you could call it, but it's a little different than you would expect. We wrote it. We wrote a lot of the stuff as a band together because playing with these guys, for a couple of years, and I think that's a great way to write.
You must feel a lot of creative freedom at this stage of your career, because like when you got to prove to anybody, you could just do what you want for fun now, or things that excite you. Is that kind of how you approached it?
That's true. Yeah. I mean, I still do the door stuff, and that's totally different. But then, when I want to do what I want to do, it's mostly, crazy jazz kind of stuff. And
Are there vocals on it?
no, there's almost no vocals.
Oh, it's all instrumental. All right. When you do the doors, who are the other two doors now?
I have different guys. I have my drummer Ty Dennis. He's been with me for maybe 30 years. He played when Ray Manzarek and I played together, starting in year 2000. We played about 15 years together, doing the doors. And Ty was there. Phil Chen, great bass player, who's
Oh yeah.
I think you know who he is.
Yeah, he's with the Faces, right, for a while. Or
I played Jeff Beck. He played on Jeff
oh,
Beck.
Jeff Beck. Yeah. Who sings?
My son Waylon sings.
No kidding.
Yeah, he's really great. And
Oh.
sometimes this guy Dave Brock sings. He has a Doors tribute band called Wild Child.
Yeah, I never got to ask. I'm sorry, I never got to ask anybody in a band as famous as yours what it's like to see somebody in a tribute band doing like their best impression of you. Is it weird? Like, how does that feel to you? Is it weird, fun? Is it like a thrill or what?
It's different depending on the band,
Yeah, because some are good and some aren't good. But I know that.
When I first saw Wild Child about 20 years ago, I thought they were great. This guy Dave Brock was. He really did the old Jim thing pretty well. And, they were good. I used to go sit in with them.
Wow.
I hadn't played Doors stuff in probably 20 years at that point. And, I started seeing these tribute bands and saying, God damn, they fill up the whole Roxy or this place or that place. And they were having so much fun, I started sitting in with them. And then, maybe and starting 2000, I went to Ray Manzarek and said, hey, man, we should start doing that stuff again.
Yeah, if people are paying for the tribute band, they'll pay for the real band.
Right.
Yeah. But you know what? I go to well, not this year, but I usually go to the Orange County Fair every year here in Southern California. And I really only go, the main reason I go is to see the tribute bands, because every night they have like one or two really good tribute bands that do the fair circuit. And they're just usually amazing.
Yeah, I mean, the Pink Floyd guys, supposed to be, I've never seen them, but I've heard they're great.
Let's talk about the charity thing, Robby. You got a great charity thing. I guess it's connected to your painting, or how's that work?
Yeah, there's a thing called Art for a Cause, and so I give my copies of my paintings, and they sell them at different charities, and so they get to keep all the money, and it works out pretty good.
I noticed I heard you don't sell your originals. What do you do with them?
I keep them.
Yeah?
Down at the studio mostly.
Hmm.
But at the right price, I would sell them.
And so the charity gets a copy. How's it work?
G Clays, you know what those are?
Fine art inkjet prints, real nice paper.
Yeah, good copies, and they, it's. I think it's a good way to get my artwork out there and to help different charities. But I do other charities too. I've been doing. We do a show every year for St. Jude's, the last 10 years or so.
Oh, nice.
And we used to do a Pat Tillman Foundation. And I have a thing called the Music Path, which is a deal where we're trying to get music into schools here in Glendale.
What do you know? Small world.
Now we're talking. Yeah, that's great. That's great. The when you guys were you broke, you got discovered where at the whiskey or the was it the whiskey that you were playing regularly?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We played there for probably 3 or 4 months as the house band. So that was.
And who hired? Was that Mario at that time? Who was
Mario and Elmer.
Elmer? Yeah.
Elmer Valentine.
Man, I miss those guys.
Bill Tanzini. Yeah.
Wow. And how
Mario's daughter does it now. She's pretty cool.
how often were you playing? We play once a week or twice a week?
Back then, it was every night, man. 6 nights a week.
Oh wow.
2 sets a night.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
It was great for us because we really got our material honed down there, you know.
were you doing a mixture of covers and originals?
Yeah. So it was mostly originals. You know, at first it was kind of half and half, and then people wanted to hear more of our original stuff, so that was cool.
What covers did you do?
Oh man, we used to do Gloria, you know.
Oh man, I would love to get a copy of that.
Did a lot of blues stuff. We did some Motown kind of stuff. Al Green, you know, all kinds of stuff.
Wow.
I remember seeing a picture actually of Van Morrison and Jim Morrison.
Right.
Right. He came up and jammed with you one night, right?
Yeah, because they were like the lead act, and we were the, you know, second act, and we got to know them pretty well over the week that we played with them. And so the last night, the whole band, both bands got up and we did Gloria together. That was amazing.
Wow.
Since doing Gloria together.
Wow.
I hate camera phones, but I wish there was one for that.
Yeah. No. When do you paint? Do you paint on a kind of schedule? Do you think to yourself like, oh, I need to paint because I have another charity thing coming up, or you just when the mood hits you, when you just need
I'm more like that when the mood hits me. I like to paint on plexiglass for some reason.
And use oils?
No, acrylic.
Acrylic on plexiglass. Wow.
Yeah.
There was something about. I mean, I only can see the pictures online, but there's something like, I don't know, shiny or bright about them. You know, right. That's what it is.
And the cool thing is, you know, if you put them up in a window, right, the light comes through. So whole different, you know, it's really like having 2 different paintings.
Let's see that album cover one more time. Let people.
You know, also we got this one that just came out, this box set.
Oh, that's that picture we were just talking about with Henry.
That's the picture Henry took.
Yeah.
So it's a vinyl, and they also have a couple of CDs in there. I don't know if you can. Wait a minute.
Do you remember taking that picture that day?
Oh yeah, of course. How about this one?
Yeah, we talked about that one too.
Yeah.
That's inside the Hard Rock Cafe.
Right, in the Hard Rock Cafe. There was this one story that I was going to tell when Henry was on. Before we went into the Hard Rock, we were across street, and this bum comes up and he asks for for some money, and so Jim says, "Well, all right, but you got to do something, you know, entertain us, you know." So the guy says, "Well, I can whistle really loud, louder than anybody in the world." And so we said, "Oh, okay, let's see you do it, man." So he did this, and I swear to God, it was so loud. It was like an air horn going off or something. We said, "How the hell do you do that?" He goes, "Jesus."
How much did he get?
I think he got a couple bucks. That was
A lot of money back then. Any kind of paper back then was big.
On that note, all right. So everybody's getting Robbie's new album, and also Morrison Hotel is a reissue. Is there extra tracks on there?
50th anniversary of Morrison Hotel.
There's some extra tracks.
Pardon? Oh yeah, there are some outtakes.
Yeah.
A couple of different songs. And on one there's this one song. There must be 20 outtakes, and it's kind of interesting to see how it evolved into the final song. You know.
Yeah, cool.
I love stuff like that.
What do you call it? Roadhouse Blues. There's a couple of outtakes from that.
Very cool, man. Very cool.
I always imagine those songs, because I've heard them so much. I always imagine those songs coming out perfect the first time, and that's it. Just as a listener, I'm like, oh, they did really killed that.
On the first album, it was like one take. Everything was one or two takes.
Wow.
Yeah, because we played that stuff at the Whiskey every night.
Right.
Long. It was so simple. Just turn on the tape machine, and that was it, man. Light My Fire was 2 takes.
Wow.
Amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you do the second one just for safety, or?
I always wished we had done 3 or 4 takes, because I could have done that solo better,
Oh, are you kidding? It was perfect, man. Don't even think about it.
Glad I did.
Don't second guess yourself.
Yeah, man. All right, Robbie. Thank you, man. Good
Thanks,
seeing
man.
you.
Good to see you guys.
Keep up the art, man. It's great.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Get it into the schools.